बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम अस्सलाम वालेकुम। जजमेंट सीरीज में कुछ आमदीद। आज की जो जजमेंट है जिसका हम डिस्कस करेंगे वो है सिविल रिवीजन नंबर 227-D/2013 और मोहम्मद एटीसी वर्सेस मुसम्मद सरदार बेगम। अच्छा जी, जजमेंट है। डेट ऑफ हियरिंग इसकी 19/3/2025 है। पिटिशन बाय सो एंड सो रिस्पोंडेंट नंबर 1, 2 एंड 7 बाय इमरान जहूर मुकद एडवोकेट साहब। अच्छा, आसिम हफीज जस्टिस साहब की ये जजमेंट है। दिस सिविल डिवीजन challenges current decisions passed in the backdrop of following facts, where petitioners on 18/9/2001 brought an action seeking declaration, cancellation petition and permanent injunction against will deed number 24 dated 21/5/1946, the will deed and gift deed, the gift deed dated 1/8/1996. In essence, bequest is the nub of the controversy, executed by one Fazal Ilahi testator in favor of daughters, namely Musammat Sardar Begum and Musammat Mukhtar Begum. The legatees from his wedlock with one Firoza Begum testator died in the year 1965, whose estate comprised of two properties, one which was subject of the will deed and other identified as an agricultural land measuring 16 canal, in short referred as Chor Harpal property. One of the legatee, namely Musammat Sardar Begum, deeded property subject of the will deed on her to her son, respondent number 1, in the year 1996. She claimed that her sister, the other legatee, had orally gifted her half share. Petitioners brought action to question the legality of the will deed and the gift deed through suit in 2001. Claim of the petitioner claiming inheritance of Fazal Ilahi, the testator, was contested by the beneficiaries of will deed cum gift deed, whereupon trial court proceeded to frame issues and recorded evidence. Parties had produced one witness each. Noor Muhammad appeared as BW1 from petitioners and respondent number 7 testified as DW1 for himself and as special attorney of his mother, respondent number 1. Trial court dismissed the suit to the extent of the will deed and allowed it to the extent of the gift deed, declaring it ineffective and invalid. Appellate court upheld the reasoning and rationale of the decree of the trial court and dismissed the appeals by judgment of 31/10/2013. Now only the validity of the will deed to the extent of share of respondent number 1 is the only triable question. Respondent number 1 and respondent number 7 have not challenged the declarations against oral gift favoring Musammat Sardar Begum and recorded gift in favor of the latter, respective submissions. Learned counsel for the petitioner contends that bequest to an heir is not valid unless other legal heirs consent to alleged transaction after the death of the testator. Reliance is placed on para 117 of the Muhammadan law by D.F. Mullah. Further submits that the testator cannot bequest property in exercise of 1/3 of properties accounted for at the time of testator's death. She elaborates that no explicit consent oblique endorsement was extended by the legal heirs who in fact objected to an instituted subject matter suit, adds that the will deed was not enforceable in law and property subject to thereof is liable to be distributed among the legal heirs in accordance with the settled principles of inheritance of the deceased. The testator explained that no defense of the limitation is attracted by vis-a-vis claim of inheritance by the heirs who for all intent and purpose become co-sharer at their predecessor's death. Reference is made to the decision reported as 2020 SCMR 352 2009 PSC 714 PLD 1967 सुप्रीम कोर्ट 2200 पेज 1979 CLC 48. Conversely, learned counsel for contesting respondent objects to the maintainability of the suit in the context of Order 2, Rule 2 of the Code of Civil Procedure 1908. The code on the ground that petitioner legal heirs of deceased contestator had previously instituted suit seeking partition of Chor Harpal property, which suit was decreed and said property was accordingly divided amongst heirs. including the petitioner and beneficiary of the will deed, emphasizes that once legal heirs had consciously elected and acted to exclude the property subject of the will deed from inheritable share, they were stopped from raising claims subsequently with respect to said property in terms of statutory bar. In terms of Order 2, Rule 2, Supra elaborates that effectum of earlier suit and exclusion of the property subject of the will deed was not denied, let alone disputed, and this conspicuous conduct constitutes an unqualified acknowledgement cum consent to the rights created through declaration of bequest. Further submits that no cancellation of will deed was sought till 2001 despite having knowledge of the instrument since inception, which attracts bar of limitation. Cited cases reported as 2024 SCMR 518, 2016 CLC 937, 2024 SCMR 766, 2013 SCMR 238, 2020 CLC 817 hard record perused. It is portrayed that transaction subject of the will deed allegedly violates the mandate of paragraph 117 of the Mohammedan law. Before answering this misconception, it is appropriate to reproduce said provision. 117 bequest to heirs. A bequest to an heir is not valid unless the other heirs consent to the bequest after the death of the testator. Any single heir may consent so as to bind his own share. Explanation: in determining whether a person is or is not an heir, regarded regard is to be had, not to be time of the execution of the will, but to the time of the testator's death. There are no disagreements with the conditionalities prescribed in a aforesaid paragraph. Effectiveness and enforceability of the bequest to one or more of the legal heirs by the testator shall be subject to consent of all the heirs to be expressed or conveyed after the death of the testator. Questions regarding sharper focus are whether consent by legal heirs must be in writing or even an oral consent by way of conspicuous conduct and not mere silence could contribute to the legality of the will deed, and whether in the fact and circumstances of the case doctrine of cause of action estoppel is attracted. It is not disputed that the testator died in the year 1965 leaving two properties, one subject of the will deed and other subject matter of previously instituted suit for partition. Charles Harpal property. Nur Muhammad appeared as PW1 and acknowledged that the property subject of the will deed factum of exclusion of property subject of the will deed is a relevant factor, and when such factor inextricably linked with the principal factor is admitted, thus such conspicuous and an overt conduct lawfully qualifies as consent of all other heirs. The legality, validity, and enforceability of the will deed undeniably conscious and conspicuous acquiescence without any protest constitutes a consent by demonstrating an affirmative conduct, and an overt act as opposed to silence constitutes an acknowledgement to the validity and effectiveness of the will deed. Simply by electing not to include the property subject of the will deed as part of previously instituted suit for partition of another property established an underlying intent, which is to treat property subject of the will deed not forming part of the estate of the deceased. This alone is sufficient to meet the requirement of having consent of all the heirs. Notably, paragraph 117 of the Mohammedan law used the expression consent without any qualification that consent should be and must always in writing, and instead the consent can be expressed, communicated, or ascertained upon evaluating an overt conduct. Hence, in view of the evidence available and conduct demonstrated, all the legal heirs had expressed acknowledgement of the will deed and consented to its enforcement. In wake of reasoning Supra, the client clinches the first issue against the petitioner and concurrently recorded findings are affirmed. Now I take up second question. Context being the scope of Order 2, Rule 2 of the Code It is for the petitioner to prove that while the property subject of the will deed was conspicuously excluded from the ambit of an earlier suit, when cause of action seeking distribution succession of all the estate of the deceased was available, exclusion of the property part of the will deed was a crucial question, and it was for the petitioner to explain reasons and rationale of excluding it. The obligation rested with the petitioner because PW1 admitted factum of an earlier suit and factum of exclusion of property, subject of the will deed. Petitioners had not produced copy of the plain pleadings of previous suit and the judgment passed to show sustainability survival of the cause of action for subsequent suit, which failure is fatal to maintainability of subsequent lists. In the context of relevant facts, the cause of action accrued to all the legal heirs to enforce it against the estate of the deceased, involving both the parties, one subject of the will deed and other subject of an earlier suit. Right to sue inter alia construed as a cause of action was available simultaneously against both the parties irrespective of the will deed, but conspicuously exercising it with respect to one of the parties. Chair Harper property clearly established that though cause of action was available but not exercised, hence same stood extinguished upon passing of the judgment in previous suit. Merger of cause of action and enforceable only in terms of judgment passed, when in particular the judgment was not simply a declaratory judgment, but in fact directing partition of the state of the deceased testator only to the extent of Harper property doctrine, by which a cause of action merger with the judgment in the action was elaborately discussed in case of Nasir Appellant versus Zavarco PLC respondent 2025 UKSC 5. Now, in these circumstances, principles of merger rephrased as the role of finality of cause of action embodied in terms of Order 2, Rule 2 of the Code is attracted, whereupon the right of the legal heir is to seek partition of the property subject of the will stood extinguished, and the right to sue cause of action for claiming share in the estate of the deceased matured, transformed into an enforceable judgment to the extent of property not subject of the will deed. Hence, right to sue or invoke cause of action already extinguished is not available against the property subject of the will deed. Doctrine of cause of action estoppel or rule of substantive law and embodied in Order 2, Rule 2 IBID is fully attracted and rightly enforced by the courts. There is another aspect of the matter in the context of present controversy. One must not overlook difference in the scope and application of the concept of burden to prove and onus to prove. Former is static throughout the proceeding, which imposes an obligation on the claimant who claims a cause of action to prove existence of such right in terms of Chapter 9 Burden of Proof of Kanun-e-Shahadat Order 1984 and later which oscillates during the trial refers to the requirement of producing evidence on a specific fact or issue. In view of the above, petitioners failed to prove existence of a right cause of action to reclaim and seek share in the estate of the deceased regarding the property subject of the will deed, a condition precedent for maintaining subsequent suit on the basis of an otherwise extinguished cause of action at the expense of repetition. It is irritated. It is iterated that petitioners, in order to avert application of Order Rule 2, Subclause 2, Order 2, Rule 2 of the Code were required to establish that omission to sue, unless proved otherwise, constitute an intentional relinquishment of the property subject of partition. In absence of any proof contrary thereto, omission is fatal to the maintainability of subsequent suit. In principle, having the same cause of action previously pleaded, granted, and extinguished upon judgment in previous suit cannot be brought to the court again. It is not for the beneficiaries of the will deed to prove that where property subject matter of will deed was excluded, but burden rests with the petitioner's complaint of previous suit, though relevant but not produced, suggest adverse inference and intent to withhold best evidence. Attracting Article 129, Subclass G of Kanun Shahadat Order 1984, notably lack of knowledge of will deed was neither pleaded nor alleged. Hence, it stood proved that decision to exclude the property subject of will deed from the ambit of previously instituted partition suit was an thought, elective thought out and a conscious decision. Last but not the least, and without diminishing potent effect of reasoning narrated above, non-filing of the suit till 2001, allowing 55 years to lapse after the execution of the will deed, 36 years after the death of the testator, and 17 years after the filing of the suit of partition of the property of the testator come deceased, speaks volume about active and meaningful acquiescence on the part of the petitioners, qualifying such conduct as an obvious consent, come acknowledgement higher in degree and effect than a mere silence or claim of tacitly ascertainable consent. Claim was not covered under Article 91, 120 and 123 of the Limitation Act 1908. Hence, suit is barred. Judgments reiterates settled principle that bequest to a legal heir is valid only once consent of the legal heir is extended after the death of the testator. Consent by explicit conduct was accorded to the will deed point elaborated earlier. Hence, the judgment have no application for the purpose of deciding the list. Principles governing application of Order 2, Rule 2 of the Code are clear and need no reiteration. Now I address objection regarding limit on bequeathing in excess of one third of property, which objection is otherwise misconceived and have no application to the case at hand. It is not disputed that daughters were declared legatees of the will in the case at hand. Number of the properties which are two is not relevant, but valuation thereof. Now, evidence was led that the property bequeathed was in excess of one third of the cumulative value of the properties of the testator. What is the cumulative value of the properties of the deceased, and whether value of the property subject matter of the will deed is in excess of one third of cumulative value. All these are relevant issues, but no evidence was led for retracting the limitations prescribed and observed. This evidence was essentially required by but wanting. It was not even alleged by the PW1 during his testimony. Pertinently, relevance of one third limit, otherwise diminished when consent of the legal heirs to the will deed stood established in terms of paragraph 118 of Mohammedan law. Bequest in exercise of the legal third cannot take effect unless the heirs consent thereto. After the death of the testator, guidance in this behalf of solicited from the ratio settled in the case of 2022 SCML 21 rule of rateable proportion has no application, since factum of share of the legatees in share of one third was not proved. Hence, there is no reason for reducing to share of each of the legatees proportionality. Validity of the will deed was affirmed by the courts. On the facts of it, there appears no contradiction in the decision of the courts, which protected the deed of will and rightly so cancelled the gift deed letter otherwise being executed in the year 1997 after filing of first suit in the year 1984. Hence, challenge to gift deed is not covered under Order Rule 2 of the Code. In view of above, I find no reason or justification to show indulgence and upset concurrent findings. Civil revision is meritless and same is hereby dismissed. Asim Hafiz Judge Sahab announced in open court on this day, 17 April of 2000. अप्रूव्ड फॉर रिपोर्टिंग। इस पूरी जजमेंट में ना जो मुझे समझ आई है इन शॉर्ट वो ये है कि एक पर्सन ने विल भी लिख दी और उसके बाद लेटर ऑन उसने उसी प्रॉपर्टी को गिफ्ट भी कर दिया, तो विल वालों ने गिफ्ट को चैलेंज कर दिया। तो गिफ्ट चूँकि पहले वाला डॉक्यूमेंट था और वन थर्ड उसकी वैल्यू थी, तो वो वन थर्ड गिफ्ट जो कर सकता है, और जब उसने विल कर दी तो उस विल को किसी ने भी चैलेंज नहीं किया। विल की एडमिसिबिलिटी जो है वो इंटैक्ट रही। सबने कहा कि हाँ विल हुई है और वो विल वन थर्ड से ज़्यादा नहीं होनी चाहिए, इसलिए प्रॉपर्टी का वन थर्ड जो है वो विल हो गया। दो लोगों को हुआ तो दो लोगों को दोनों को ही वन थर्ड होना चाहिए था, ना कि एक एक को वन थर्ड। लेकिन इस केस में मसला ये नहीं था कि विल वन थर्ड है या नहीं है, मसला ये था कि एक दफ़ा उसने बिल कर दी और फिर गिफ्ट भी कर दी, तो कोर्ट्स ने जो है वो बिल को वैलिड करार दिया और गिफ्ट को कैंसिल कर दिया, और हाई कोर्ट ने भी इसी डिसीजन का ख्याल रखा। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर लिसनिंग। अल्लाह हाफिज़।